Alright, what up, folks? Alright, so we back at it again. Alright, so we at a shop here with a Nissan Xtrail, right? It's a T32 model. It's a hybrid version. It's been down for a few weeks because the customer came in for a transmission problem and now the vehicle doesn't want to start. So they asked if I can, check it out and see what's going on. So let's see if we can diagnose this vehicle for the shop. Right, let me show you exactly what's going on. Right, so they replaced the gear inside the transmission and the vehicle still doesn't want to start up. Right, so they asked if I could rectify the problem. You see how it is, right? So let's see exactly how we could diagnose this vehicle with this customer and see what's good, right? Okay, so I got some notes here. I made some notes on what's going on, right? So let's put the scan tool on. Let's scan for some codes, right? And see exactly what's going on with this vehicle, right? I believe they say they replaced the or they removed the transmission a few times and also the inverter, right, to see what's going on, but they still have a crank no start. So let's scan the vehicle for some codes and see what pops up, right?
Crank no start.
Well, no crank no start. Okay, so this is a Nissan Xtrail T32 hybrid, right? So I'm not gonna be able to do a auto scan and show up, so we're going to just go into the it's a 2017, right? So while that is being scanned, right, we're gonna run through the vehicle, see if anything was left unplugged, if anything needs to be plugged in, or simple a short. I'm not sure. Right, so I'm gonna do some checks on the CAN network, right? From the inverter, we checked all the fuse. All the fuse is good, right? So I'm going to just do some checks right here at the inverter. This power, this orange cable comes from the motor, right? And the next one goes straight to the back of the the LBC, which is the lithium battery controller, right? And that communicates with the HPCM, which is a hybrid power control module, right? And basically what happens is this motor basically talks to the LBC and the HPCM, right, via the CAN network and also the ABS, so everything is communicating on a network. So we got to make sure the network is working and we have no faults in the network, right? And take it from there and see exactly if the it's complaining. So again, as I said, I just scanned for code, so let's go back onto the scan tool and see what's going on. Okay, so let's take a look at the codes I began. I'm getting a U1000 CAN communication circuit. I have some faults on the ABS, right, the EV circuit, and the engine speed signal 1, which is telling me that it's not seen to fire the crank sensor. I got a fault on the BCM, ignition relay on. I also have the sonar circuit, right, that's ADAS. I lost communication with the transmission via the BCM, lost communication with the LBC, the HPCM, which is through the motor controller. The IPM box is also complaining, and then we got some, it looked like we just got some CAN communication problems, right? We have it on the brakes, we have it on the EV and the HV, right? We also seeing that we have a high voltage service disconnect, so that most likely let me know that the service plug has been out when the vehicle was on, right? Also we got a P317A, which is motor system, right? So we had to retrace our steps. We had to ask what exactly was being done on this vehicle. They replaced the motor, so we gotta do an inspection, make sure all is well with the harness, make sure nothing was left unplugged. I'll be able to I want to do some checks on the CAN network, see what's going on, right? So let me hook my setup up and see exactly what's going on, right? So what I gotta do is see if I I'm allowed to go into the modules, right? I tried to clear the codes because they had a few things unplugged, right? So let's go back in, and we are still seeing all the faults that's popping up, right? But I was able to put the service plug back in because it was out, and that's what triggered that code for the service plug. So that's back in. Right, so let's go back in front. Right, the vehicle's going to time out. I have ignition, right, but I still have all the codes minus the service plug. Okay, so let's do some more checks, right? As I said, man, I got some issues with the HPCM, right? That is the one that's under the glove compartment. Let me see if I can get you a shot at it. Okay, so I gotta make sure all these modules are plugged in. So this is the HPCM, right? And that's a module that controls the hybrid. It's right here, right? They said they check all the fuse on the BCM, so I'm gonna make sure all that is well too, right? And I'm gonna show you around this vehicle, right? So that looks like it's good because I'm able to go into the scan, use the scan tool to go into the HPCM, and I'm seeing the hybrid voltage from the battery, right? Also, what I'm seeing here, right, this is the DC to DC converter on top here, and the one underneath, which is also using the can. Let me see if I can get the light. You're seeing a plug right there, right? That is the LBC, right, which is the lithium battery controller, right? So also, this is the inverter for the hybrid system, right? So what happens is the ECM, the TCM, the hybrid power control module, and also the LBC is on the same CAN network, right? So we gotta do all our checks on this network, right? Make sure everything is good before we, take it to the next level. So let me get the scope hooked up so I can check on pin 6 and 14. Alright, I'm gonna get my breakout lead and check to see what's going on, right? So let's boot the computer up and see what's up. Okay, so I just had to put everything back together because, as I said, they was working on this vehicle and I was not here around, so I needed to just ensure that everything is, set up properly. So let me set the vehicle up so I can scope the network and see exactly what's going on, right? What you're seeing here is the CAN network, right? I just set up a mask and also trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and you see that we have some faults on the network right here, right? Save that. Just kind of speed up the process because so I'm gonna do a wiggle test, I'm gonna do plug test, I'm gonna just do some checks to make sure that my my network look good, but it doesn't at this present time because I definitely have some faults, right? You see it look like I'm having a issue right here. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. You see that my network is complaining. I'm seeing a dropout right here, right? I'm seeing also this packet right here is pulling down, you dig? So is that anything important? Yes, it is, because it definitely is complaining that we have faults on the network. So okay, so as I said, man, I'm gonna do some plug-in, make sure, take a look at the other modules that's complaining, that's on the network, and and see exactly what's going on. So let me do some checks. It definitely is complaining. If I take this off, let's take this. So it's feeling a lot too. Let's take this off. Hold on real quick. Let me just, I'm not sure exactly what's going on with my pen. I gotta get my, let's take this off. Okay, so you definitely see where I have some glitches going on. You see these dropouts is where I'm seeing the faults. So can we do some serial decoding and see exactly what is going on? Alright, let's go next. Hi, A plus B. So I'm gonna use the map channel. Let me see what's generating. Right, so this will just kind of let me know what's going on. I'm also going to set up an action while I'm unplugging the modules to come here by myself. I'm not here by myself, I got my boy with me, but while we unplug the modules, we're going to be listening out for the sounds, right, to see if it stopped. That'll let me know, well, you know, that module has the fault, or along that leg that have the issue, right? So let's do some checks, let's see what's going on, and see why this vehicle is not starting. Okay, so with the ignition on, I'm seeing that we have some faults on the network. Let me see if I can just take this light off. Right, I'm definitely getting some fault on the network. Right, I don't have my breakout box, so I just, you know, got my probes gently put in the DLC, but we definitely have some faults, right? So as I said, man, we gotta come with a game plan, figure out exactly how we're gonna approach this, right? They say all they did was remove the transmission. Let me take this off. They say all they did was remove the transmission, and the vehicle decided to, you know, don't want to start, right? So we definitely gotta do some checks here. You know, I'm not sure if the CAN network is healthy. I'm gonna check that with my multimeter and see what I'm getting. I'm supposed to be getting at least 60 ohms on that network. So let's check with the multimeter. That's letting me know that if the network is down, if a module is pulling it down, right? But what I'm seeing is definitely got something fishy going on with that, right? So let me go in the back and do some checks and see what's going on, right? They say they was up in front, but you can never be so sure about these things when it comes to shops, right? So let's take a look. As I said, man, this is the DC converter. This is the LBC under here, right? This is high voltage, right? They was in the back here, right? I believe they got a battery here, so I'm not sure if they changed the battery out due to it being weak. But what is this? I'm seeing this jack right here. I'm not sure what is going into this fuse box. Right, this is the battery pack, 10 amp. Let's see what's in here. So we got 10 amp battery pack in here, but I'm not sure if this jack belongs to here. Okay, let's put this jack in. I'm not sure exactly why it's unplugged. I'm gonna talk to the shop owner and first before I plug it in. I'm not sure why it's unplugged, but let me see if it belongs there. Alright, so let me just talk to the shop owner first and see what's good. Yeah, so we definitely see you getting some fault codes, and those were the codes we was the faults we was getting before. I was getting like battery module. I was getting the LB and the LBC and the HPCM on the MC, right? The brakes had a fault, but I'm not seeing anything now. ECM had a fault with the CAN network, right? And this vehicle definitely wasn't starting at all. So let's see what's going on. No matter what we do, it wasn't coming off. So what I did, I plugged the harness back into the fuse block, and let's see what happens. I said you're not so sure what happens in these right, so you see that we're getting the CAN communication circuit on the ECM, engine speed, EV, we're getting that. ICC, we got the sonar, MC. I have problems with the lost communication, LBC, HPCM, right? Sonar, open, gateway. I don't have no problem with the gateway. That's good. So it's not a hard fault, right? Battery module, contact, motor, stuff like that, right? So let's save this, right? Pre-scan. Alright, so I got that saved. I'm going to clear all these codes. Let's see what comes off. Okay, this is the first time I'm seeing the ECM cleared, and we also got the MC and the EV cleared. So why we got the ICC sonar? So that's ADAS. I mean, I don't do ADAS, well, not as yet, slowly. So we got problem with the sonar circuit. Okay, let's come out of here and let's come straight back out. Right, let's switch the vehicle off. Let's put it back on. Let's do a small scan again and see what shows up. Don't tell me basically plug. I mean, I don't want to speculate and see somebody removed it or take it out, but it definitely looks like it because this vehicle drove in. It reversed in this spot. So someone had to go in the back and unplug it. And now you see that we get no issues on the ECM, MC, and the EV. So what I'm going to do once we finish scanning this vehicle, I'm going to see if it'll start. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so while that's scanning, I'm going to make sure everything is put back together, right? This is the original inverter. All the cables is hooked up that we unplugged, right? I mean, we gotta put some coolant in here. They gotta put this back together. I'm not going to do that, right? I just came here for the crank, no start on this vehicle. So we just got issues on the right. So let's save this. Skip this. Skip. Let's save this. Post repair, I guess. And let's see if the vehicle will start. Okay, so we definitely got the vehicle started. I don't want to run it too long because, yeah, I don't want to run the vehicle too long because we don't have enough coolant and stuff like that. So, wow. So what we do, we sum this up as self-inflicted wounds. So. Could you start the vehicle up for me? You gotta step on the X. You gotta step on the brake. Okay, so I'm gonna call this success. This vehicle is definitely fixed because someone removed this jack and was causing a CAN network problem. Yep. So so we got some others to finish for this the shop. This one was really entertaining, and it also was, I gained a lot of experience, for this, try not to touch stuff prior to coming. I don't know, man. But anyway, so until next time, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button.